What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Madden video. The 2017 football season is finally over. The Eagles are our Super Bowl champions, so it's time to start looking ahead into Madden 19 and who we think has a chance of gracing the cover for the game. Many people are still playing Madden 18. Many people have stopped for the year and they're looking forward to next year. So who is going to grace the cover this year? Some people look at the Madden cover as a good thing. Some people look at it as a curse, although I think over some of these years, some of these athletes have proven the curse to not be so valid. I mean, Tom Brady did just win the MVP and appeared at another Super Bowl, so I wouldn't necessarily look at that as a cursed season, but let's get into it. So let's start off with wide receiver. We haven't had a wide receiver on the cover for the past couple of years, and what better wide receiver than the best wide receiver in the league, undoubtedly, Antonio Brown, a guy that is putting up numbers that should put him as a top 5 receiver all time when it's all said and done, if health permits. I mean, this guy is doing things that, we haven't seen in a long time. The consistency of these numbers he puts up. He was an MVP candidate this year. He is the leader of that Pittsburgh Steelers team. Why not Antonio Brown? Definitely a fan favorite in the league. A favorite among players in the leagues themselves. One of the best receivers we have ever seen. If ever a wide receiver, why not Antonio Brown? While we're on the top of the wide receiver, who would be considered the number 2 wide receiver in the league? Most people would say Julio Jones. Probably the most physically gifted wide receiver we have in the league right now. When you talk about the combination of his size, his speed, his route running, his jumping ability, just nobody else quite like him in the league at this time. He was just in a Super Bowl a year ago. He is on an explosive offense. He is a fan favorite in Madden, especially in Ultimate Team. He is always one of the more sought after items, one of the more high priced items that people love to get on their team. So why not Julio Jones? He would definitely make a great cover athlete for Madden 19. Now let's look at the other side of the ball, and when you talk about the other side of the ball, you have to talk about Jalen Ramsey right now. Probably the most popular defensive player in the league. If not the most popular, he's definitely in the conversation. He is also in the conversation as the best cornerback in the league. We haven't had a defensive player on the game since Madden 15, and that was also a cornerback in Richard Sherman. But if you think about defensive players over Madden's history, we've only had 3. We had Ray Lewis in 05. We had Polamalu, who shared the cover with Fitzgerald in Madden 10, and then we had the Madden 15 cover with Richard Sherman. But why not Jalen Ramsey? He led that Jaguars defense almost to a Super Bowl. They were so close to topping the Patriots, and he was one of the big reasons why. Why not Jalen Ramsey? Sticking with the Jaguars, let's look at Leonard Fournette. We have not had a running back on the game cover in so long. It seems like, running backs and quarterbacks were always like the top 2 positions on the cover of Madden, but we have not had a running back in some time, so why not Leonard Fournette, one of the most exciting young rookie backs in the league, another player that really helped, carry that Jaguars team all the way to the AFC Championship game where they were so close to upsetting the Patriots and appearing in their first Super Bowl. It only makes sense to consider Leonard Fournette for the cover. We had a lot of good rookies come into the league this year, or really over the past few years, but I think Leonard Fournette is one of those guys I could clearly see on the cover of next year's game in a big way. While we're talking about rookie running backs, you have to talk about Alvin Kamara, probably the biggest playmaker in the league last year. Offensive Rookie of the Year. If you have to consider somebody for the cover, you have to consider this guy. You also have to consider the fact that we have not seen a rookie kind of shoot to this type of superstardom so quickly since Odell Beckham. And you remember what happened with Odell Beckham after that year. Yes, he graced the cover of Madden that following year. So why not Alvin Kamara? I mean, he is on a high-powered offense. He is on a great team right now that is poised to be a Super Bowl favorite coming into the year. He can do it on the ground. He can do it through the air. He's very hard to tackle. He's got probably the most exciting highlight tape of any player last year. I think you have to heavily consider Alvin Kamara when you talk about possible cover athletes for Madden NFL 19. And while we're still on the running back topic, you have to mention Todd Gurley, the Offensive Player of the Year, and a guy that many thought should have actually been the MVP of the league. The numbers he put up this year were just outrageous, especially after the lackluster sophomore season he had. Many people had written him off, but in came a new head coach, in came some new game plans and creative ways to get Todd Gurley the ball, and he showed just exactly what he could do, not only running defenses over, but shaking them putting spin moves on him, hurdling, you name it, through the air, on the ground. This guy was just an absolute savage all season long. He had my vote for MVP, and I know he had a lot of other people. He didn't wind up winning the award, but rightfully so, he took home the Offensive Player of the Year award. And you know what else? This upcoming year is the 30th anniversary, so why not number 30? And last but not least, you have to talk about a quarterback. You always need a quarterback when you talk about possible options of a cover athlete. Why not new Super Bowl champion Carson Wentz? Now, yes, he did get injured and didn't play in the Super Bowl game, but he was undoubtedly the #1 guy in the MVP race before going down. I'm pretty sure he would have took home the award had he stayed healthy, but why not Carson Wentz, who's had one of the best sophomore seasons we've ever seen. His team did go on to win the Super Bowl, so you have to figure that an Eagles player has to be a favorite to land the cover. Why not Carson Wentz? So that's it, guys. Those are my top 7 options for cover athletes. What did you guys think? Do you agree with some of these options? Do you think I left out some options? Let me know in the comments below. Who do you think is going to be on the cover next year? Give me your top options. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, just drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.